Yes, including this, including what you're saying right now. All right. So, what do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do first? You guys want to do the?
Let's start with stupid people.
Hey, welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red!
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny.
Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting! Burning!
Now all of you.
Die.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky.
I'm Michael.
I'm Johnny.
And I just gave everybody a heart attack. Welcome back to Anime Casuals. Today on the casual discussion, we are basically talking about anime characters who acted like complete idiots, and sometimes, in their, in their lane, of course. Sometimes anime characters, or at least some of these anime characters, real quick, get rid of those. A lot of these anime characters, can be kind of stupid sometimes, but yeah, it's just all around. But Michael, since you're the one that told us about this, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm gonna start with a big popular one, and because he makes me upset anytime he's do it, I'm gonna start with Luffy from One Piece. I think we can all agree that is one stupid dude, and that's the worst part. Is like so many times, even when he's like doing that like Naruto friend bullshit, where he's like, we're gonna do it for friends. Like anytime Luffy does it, I'm like, okay, he actually says things that I'm like, I can get behind, and those are never dumb. Like usually when Naruto says it, I'm usually like, okay, come on, like you can't, believe it for friends. I'm like, shut up, Naruto, until he gets older, and then it's way better, and he actually has reasons for things. But Luffy's always in the mindset that's like the honor and friendship are above everything, because once you have formed a bond with somebody, that matters. But then he's always in that situation, like another person I'm going to say, if neither one of you guys say it, where he's like, yeah, we could save our asses and get out of here, or I could fight the big bad guy right now, and I could just keep fighting every one of the strongest villains, even though I'm not prepared for it. And every time I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? And another call out from that one is also Zorro with his dumb directional thing. Mm-hmm. I love it, but I'm also like, dude, you are a master swordsman, and when you're fighting somebody, that doesn't happen. You got to get your shit together, my good man. And I love Luffy, but we can all agree he's a big dumb. Yeah. Since we always rotate the same way, I'm gonna look at this big man over here and then look at that big man over there and see who's got the next stupidest one. Ooh.
All right, I saw the finger on the nose, man. So that means you're up, Johnny. No.
Me.
Yeah,
that's fine. I can.
Okay, go for it, man.
Sure.
It worked. Yes.
Funny enough, actually, you in your spiel there of taking like 8 million different things, you got one of mine, Zorro, specifically, one of his getting lost moments. I don't know, to an extent, I can kind of understand those moments. You're in a new place all the time. Obviously, you can't expect to know where to go all the time. But there's one moment where he gets really lost, and I don't know how he did it. It's during the
This is the water.
What are those called? One? No, I don't know. It might be like in that arc, but
Sabati
it's not part of that.
Archipelago, the bubble place.
No, I think I'm thinking of the time when he's fighting Silver Fox Foxy.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch that one. Never mind.
Oh, one of the.
They're doing like, I don't remember what it's called, but it's pirate games where you play for each other's crew members or whatever.
Now you say that like it's a thing, but it's only ever in One Piece like one time.
No, it's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not a big thing. As I'm just trying to explain. So during this event, they're having like a race, and it's really simple. It's get from point A to point B, and it's not. There's no zigzags. So there's no trees, nothing to get lost in. And Zorro, this guy, they tell him, Zorro, run that way, and he's like, okay, and he literally just goes the opposite way. I don't know how you do that. It's insane. He was looking the right way, and then he just he finds another way to do it. And I don't know how he did that. So that's
You know what?
that's as big as idiot moment for me.
I will say there's an equal one for Zorro as well.
Mm.
Do you remember the time where he's walking back towards the ship and they're like, Zorro, come here. We're right here. And he's like, I got it. And then he doesn't look at them and he just turns left like immediately. And then they're like, what? How did you do that? Like, it was like some kind of mystical power that the god said, you will not go the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's as equally as dumb. Like,
He's probably got something going on like inner ear. I don't know. Like, he's got his equilibrium is off. I don't know. That's all I can figure.
he's like, I want to go straight. Whoa.
Yeah, he just starts going.
You know what the best part about it is? He looks at everybody else like they're crazy. He's like, what? Everybody gets lost like this, you know? Like when he's in Dressrosa and that freaking fairy's looking at her, or not fairy, you know, the little people is looking. She's just looking at him like. He puts her on a well, and then he ends up running away. He's like, I'm out of here. And all of a sudden he finds her again, and she's like, weren't you running away? What? Did you follow me? You know, it's like, what's going on here? Yeah, mine is from the big one of the big three. That changes quite a bit, but mine is actually from Bleach. So this is every single freaking captain when they're fighting Aizen, and this is a very specific part, and it was it's the funniest moment in both the dub and the sub, because you can tell Ichigo's like, what the hell are you doing? So basically what's happening, just to set the premise for everybody, you know, these captains are all like having their way with Aizen, right? They're all just beating the crap out of him, just doing all this stuff, except everybody knows what Aizen's sword does. It shows you illusion. So this whole time, like, Hitsugaya, the ice guy, is that his name?
Yeah.
He ends up killing. Yeah, he ends up killing Momo. Well, not killing Momo, but he ends up stabbing her, and you know, doing all this stuff because they think they're getting Aizen, and then finally Ichigo's like, "You guys are freaking idiots!" And then just all of a sudden they're like, "What? We weren't winning? Come on, guys." Come on, guys. And it turns out it was all a big illusion. They were all getting messed up, and I was like, guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, dude. And I was like, the only one that had some the only one that had some like clue to kind of like make sure to check on him was like Captain Yamamoto, and he had to get stabbed in the freaking belly to do it. You know, he's just like, I know you're real because the sword in my belly tells me that you're real. I was like, okay, that's a weird way of looking at it, which actually ended up being his downfall in a way, because Gene ended up figuring out that or sorry, whatever his name is. I think it's his name, the guy with the slanty eyes. It's always has his extendo thing. But yeah, he ends up figuring out that you have to touch his sword in order to dispel any illusions and stuff. I was like, that's a weird countermeasure. But yeah, all those captains are all those captains are incompetent. They always have to rely on a substitute Shinigami to help them, like all the time. All the time. So yeah, I would just say them on a regular basis, but except for Kenpachi. Kenpachi's cool. He's a good idiot. He at least knows he's an idiot, and he acts like one. So he stays in his lane. So yeah,
he's in the same vein as like a Goku. Like Goku's always like, yo, I'm hella dumb, but like at least he backs up with fighting skill and like natural talent. Like we can be like, yo, Goku's dumb, but you know who's really dumb? Vegeta. And you know, we're gonna get right into why Vegeta's dumb, because he allowed his opponent to heal back up, like when he was fighting Cell, right? And he's like, whoa, man, I want to fight you at your max power. So, yo, he tossed him a sensu bean, right? Or he just allowed him like
because he was like, oh, if only I had my perfect form. And
then he allowed him.
You could be better. All right, sure, go ahead.
Take Android 18. Yeah, totally do that. And I'm like, okay, we've seen Goku toss out a sensu bean before. I think it was like to Frieza or something. And he's like, yeah, heal back up, let's fight. Because Goku is ultra confident in his abilities. And I will say, after watching all of Dragon Ball Z and Super, he has a right to be. He absolutely does have a right to be. But Vegeta is such a smart guy. He's so intelligent, and he's supposed to be the anti-Goku. He's like, hey, you're both really strong, but you're supposed to be the smart guy with, like, you know, strategy. I'm like, where's the strategy in going, hey, take that piece that was prophesized to give him the ultimate abilities and kill all the Z fighters. He's like, well, I'm Vegeta. Who cares? Like, I'm gonna fight that.
I'm Princess Saiyans. I can do it.
Yeah.
Same
That could have been
What?
that could have been Vegeta's one big win. But no, he goes down and he just goes down as a loser. That's like, yeah. It's upsetting.
Yeah, I mean that you bring up a good point too. Is that like Goku knew he could beat Frieza. Like he was already beating him at that point anyway. That he already knew. The thing is, Vegeta didn't know how strong Cell was going to be in his final form. He was just like, oh yeah, you can just get more powerful. And he just kind of like was like, all right, yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do. And also, that's twice that he did that, because he also, if you remember right, in Majin Buu Saga, he ends up actually letting Babidi take over him just so he can get revenge, and then through that vengeance, Majin Buu ends up getting restored before anybody can do anything about it. So it's like, this is twice now. I'm sure there's more times that I probably can't think of off the top of my head, but yeah, that's like 2 times right now that he has put the whole world in danger, and everybody's just kind of like, oh, it's cool, he's Goku's friend and all that stuff. It's like, oh, come on. But what about you, John?
Yeah.
My next one, actually from Dragon Ball Z, it's gonna be Goku.
Good.
I mean, you could say there's a lot of
Surprise.
idiot moments for him, but I don't know. The couple that came to my mind really fast was it's actually in the Cell game, so same season 2, funny enough, but it's when they're doing the Cell games, him and Goku are fighting, and he's like, hey, I forfeit. Gohan's gonna fight for me. And he's so confident in that. He's like, hey, you got this. And he sends him out there, and everyone's like, that's crazy, right? What's going on? Goku, you can't be doing this. Like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And then we proceed to see him slowly like start losing, and Goku realizing like, oh, maybe this won't work. Oh no. And everyone's just yelling at him. Piccolo's like, you dumbass. And that's probably the one big idiot moment for Goku, him slowly realizing he shouldn't have put his son out there. Granted, end result, he should have. But right then, no, that was bad. That was a bad move. Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So, Goku.
For DBZ's sake, I will say at least in Super, there's like none of those moments. And that's like, it's like the bigger redeeming factor of Super is that like it has character development and like it goes beyond that. There's no real stupid moments in there, but I know there is a couple.
Let's have a world tournament and fight for each other's existence.
Yeah, like when Goku said, "Yeah, that would be a smart idea," And then what's the little guy's name?
Who little guy? Which one?
The one that can kill everything.
Oh,
it's like a letter or something. Yeah,
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's like a little guy who basically his only power, he's super weak, except that he can disintegrate an entire universe if he wants to. Yeah, that seems pretty strong. And then Goku goes up to that guy. He's like, "Yeah, I like world tournaments." He's like, and the little guy's like, "I do too." And then creates a devious plan. It's crazy. Go watch Dragon Ball Super if you've watched Dragon Ball Z before and like it.
Yeah, I still gotta go on that bandwagon. So this one is going to another big shonen. Shonen characters are really stupid, but this is a Naruto moment. But in particular, yeah, right. In particular, this one happens in the same fight, right? So this is when Naruto, Killer Bee, and Itachi end up taking on Nagato at this point. So reanimated Nagato, reanimated Itachi. Okay. Long story short, Itachi ends up regaining his senses, and ends up helping them fight Nagato, right? At one point, Naruto gets captured basically from Nagato. Nagato's just holding him by the neck, and Naruto's in his head is listing off, okay, so what can he do? He can absorb chakra. He can summon. He can, he's checking off all these things, right? And then all of a sudden he sees like the big judgment person come out of the big judgment head come out of the thing that like takes his tongue out if he lies, that kind of thing. So he's seeing this. He's like, I've never seen this one. And so Naruto has the bright idea of like, oh, I know how I'll get out of this. I'll shoot him with a Rasengan from the hands of my back, and then. Slowly, all of a sudden, like, Nagato doesn't even flinch, absorbs it. He's like, I just said this in my head that he can absorb chakra. What the hell? And so, later on in the fight, right, finally, Itachi's hooking it up, like overtime because these two guys aren't getting anything done. So finally, Kabuto, who's behind the whole thing, he ends up being like, okay, I'll just do a Chibaku Tensei. Cool. So all of a sudden, what's the other word for Chibaku Tensei? The planetary devastation.
Yeah.
So he ends up doing that, right? So he shoots this thing up, and it's pulling everything in. And Naruto's just like, oh my god, I got out of this once, but it's unstoppable. And Itachi's just like, wait, you just said you got out of it. And he was like, yeah, but I had the Nine Tails help. And he's like, why don't we just like throw a bunch of energy? I mean, Naruto's really strong at this point. Also, they have the Eight Tails who can literally turn into the Eight Tails. And he just doesn't think like, oh yeah, maybe we could just, I'm just like, oh my god, dude. Like
It's his fight.
I just like how he contradicts himself like twice in the same fight. Where he's just like, I fought this guy before, like really recently too. This is like the most, like one of the most recent bad guys that he'd fought at this point, and he's just like, he's listing off all the things that he knows in his head, and he just can't put any of it into play. And those Naruto moments. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of Naruto moments that I could put on this, but those two in particular, just because of how he was saying he was going to do all this stuff by himself now. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to do this by myself. And Itachi's like, no, you're stupid and stop it. So, yeah, Naruto is my next one.
I'm going to save one of mine for the end because I'm just curious if either one of you will say it. I've got two small, quick ones that are more just calling people out. One to my favorite episode of Cowboy Bebop. I think it's called like The Fridge or something. Basically the entire episode revolves around a refrigerator that they left in their ship for like years without ever opening it. And like the entire thing is like there's a creature like going around on their ship, and they're like, it's making individual of them sick. Like it makes my sick. It gets Tank, I think his name's Tank, sick. It gets Ein sick. And then like Spike's like, what is this thing? Where's it coming from? And at the very end of the episode, he sees a fridge and he opens it, and it's literally nightmarishly moldy. And I'm like, like Spike and the crew are like usually really smart, and I'm like, this just shows you everybody can be forgetful, but don't leave a fridge full of crap like in anywhere for like years, because the monster was just I think a moldy sandwich that had evolved to the point that it could walk around and infect people.
Moldy sandwich.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it just shows you everybody can be forgetful. I mean, that's a heightened level of dumb that you left food in a fridge for this long, which I know in like the third episode they complain about not having good food. So I'm like, it makes me laugh. The other quick one is everybody that's not Lelouch in Code Geass, because they should just know better by a certain point. I mean, come on, this dude is intelligent, beating people at chess. His strategy is, there's no bounds to it. And then every episode is like, no, I could take that guy. And then he has this crazy loophole. It's like watching Dr. Stone. It's like there's a crazy loophole plan where he's like, nah, dude, I already won literally yesterday. You just didn't even know it yet. It's that no game, no lifestyle where it's like the only way to win a game is to already have won it by the time you walk in. And I'm like, why are you even trying to compete against Lelouch at this point? Just tell him that you surrender. It's okay. Yeah, we'll go over to you. We'll see if anybody says my last one.
I was struggling to think of a third one, honestly. I'm sure I could probably think of more, but I just wasn't able to think of any more today. But my last one actually is Luffy. It's when he's in Alabasta. And it's when they first get to or pretty early when they get to Alabasta, and they go into that town, and they're all like, hey, you guys are great, please eat all our food and have all our drinks, it's totally fine, we love you guys. And they fall for it, they have a great time.
Yeah,
they
Whiskey
eat
Pete.
way too much. There you go, Whiskey Pete. And so the moment is, it's afterwards, because Zorro wakes up, because I don't think he actually, I want to say he went for a walk or something, but he comes back and he's like, all these people are trying to kill us and take the bounties now. What the hell is going on? And he starts, kicking all their asses. Luffy, in his bloated self, wakes up and sees all the townsfolk that have just helped him and given him all this food hurt on the ground. And he's like, who did this? And they tell him it's Zorro. So now he has to go beat up Zorro because apparently Zorro's crazy. And yeah, they have a good old fight and it's insane. And Luffy's just kind of a dumb.
Oh my god! Dude.
He's a dumb.
The minute you said that, I was like, oh, this is Whiskey Peak, dude. Funny little thing in Jump Force, they actually make a reference to it when you put Zorro versus Luffy. He's like, looks like we'll continue our fight from Whiskey Peak here. And I was like, dang, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that was really though. That was one of the stupidest things. I think Nami ends up having to come in and beat the crap out of both of them, and that's what stops them. But yeah, it's pretty bad. There's a lot of okay. So this is a little sensitive one.
Yeah.
A little bit of a sensitive one.
Okay.
3 seconds and less, one pump. But I'm calling out Ace. I'm calling out Ace from One Piece. Calling him out, bro. So if we remember how Ace dies, right? What happens is, everything is going along smoothly. Like, right, they're running away. All of a sudden, Kizaru or Kainu, whatever you want to call him, he ends up. They're two different people. Sorry. Kainu ends up like just antagonizing him because he doesn't know how to catch up to him. So he's just like, man, Whitebeard's stupid. And Ace is like, Nani? Whitebeard's not stupid. And then he just goes after him, even though like at this point, so Ace is freaking badly hurt anyway. From being in prison that long. All this kind of stuff goes down. And Luffy went all the way over. Oh, actually, no, not even just Luffy. All these people went all the way over there just to help him. And what does he do? He goes and dies. He goes and literally just dies. Goes up against an admiral that, should be pretty obvious that he can't beat. I can understand maybe in his full form, maybe he wants to try and do it, whatever. But at that point, it was so unnecessary. I think that was actually one of the biggest parts that like unimmersed me from the Marineford arc. Was just that part. I was like, I could understand if Kainu just got him because he was that good. He just giant lava fist from hell up coming from the sky. But having him literally fall into that trap, I was like, oh my god. And I understand that the Whitebeard pirates are real close. I understand all that, but also he saw a bunch of his comrades die to come and get him, and he should probably think priorities. So. I'm calling out Ace for that. I've never gotten over that, and I still think he's kind of an idiot. Rest in peace.
I've got to do a quick call out just to the cast of Golden Kamui, because I can't really say specifically any of them are dumb, but they all have incredibly dumb moments throughout the series. Nothing like a Zorro, like going like, oh, the wrong direction. But they have just moments where you're like, what are you doing? Like, that's constant throughout Golden Kamui. Yeah. It's like Sugimoto will be like, will be doing stuff, and then he'll like accidentally do something, or Shirpa will be doing the same thing. Like, she'll see Sugimoto like eat some food and then be like, no, you're eating poop. Like, there's so many moments. I think just recently there was a moment where they were trying to be a circus, and they didn't realize that the fake blade had been swapped out with a real blade. So our main dude, Sugimoto, basically had to go through like this traditional, I think it was I don't remember, I think it was a Russian art of basically like cutting your arm and showing like that you're like super tough because you can last like so many cuts. And he just had to go through with that without a fake blade and used a regular blade and was cutting himself constantly during this performance. I'm like, dude, just take a second and walk off stage, come back with the real blade. Like, it's not that hard. He's like, oh my God, I have to do this for real. And everybody, even his own side was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Like, he's just doing the stage act. And everybody's like, wait, that's real blood. And shortly after, like, 5 people die by like getting stabbed in the chest, and then the whole audience goes, yeah, it's so crazy. It looks real. Kind of like that beginning of Dead Man Wonderland where people are being ground up and they're like, oh, it looks so real. My last one though to call out, because I don't know if either one of you has one more, but I'm gonna say Black Star from Soul Eater. Boy, that fool is dumb. It's a dumb guy, and he's dumb for the same reason that Goku's dumb, that Vegeta's dumb, that like Naruto at times is dumb, like because they're so full of their own power that they can't judge things correctly. He's a ninja who screams out moves as his ambush. And you know, it's like every time when you're like, oh, I'm gonna ambush him, and then like an anime character says their move and like fights them. It's like, well, that wasn't really an ambush. You yelled like while you were fighting them. Soul Eater does a great job of just showing like everybody like turns around and sees him screaming and just going, well, I can easily dodge your move now. He's such a dumb character. I love Black Star, but I mean, like, you're supposed to be a ninja, man.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true. That guy's a freaking idiot. So this one's kind of an obscure one, but it's from one of my romance animes, from this anime called Kimi Kiss, and basically there, all these high schoolers are trying to get at each other, but like, all of a sudden, it's one group, so it's a love triangle, right? A girl and a guy are on a soccer team, right? And then another girl just randomly, out there that the guy likes. Because she's one of those weird people who's like, hey, why don't we experiment? Let me see if I can fall in love with you. And she like kisses this guy and is like, didn't work. Why don't we try again? It's just like, so this guy ends up falling head over heels for her. The girl on the soccer team with that guy falls head over heels for him. And so eventually the guy, Ihara, and the girl, Futami, the girl that's not on the soccer team, that's just an experimenter, she ends up saying, you know what? I don't want to hang out anymore. I'm done. Right? And this is when Sakino, or the girl on the soccer team, would be like, hey, why don't I go after that? That dick is good for the taking. Why don't I do it? You know what she does? She forces them to talk it out. She forces them to get to be friends. And you know what happens? Surprise, surprise, they end up getting together. And all of a sudden, like the next day after they have this like epic, getting back together thing, she comes, or sorry, they're all at school. They're all, her and the girl from soccer team and the guy from soccer team are in the class together. And he comes up to her. He's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, we would have never been able to make anything up if you hadn't got us together. And she's just like, you can tell she's got like the eyes of like somebody who's just died inside. And you're just like, oh my god. And then there's this scene at the very end that just cements it, where there's this scene of all the people that got together just kissing under fireworks, and all the people that didn't get together like just looking up at the fireworks. And she's just one of them, like going out for a jog, like, oh. And then like here's the guy and the girl under the fireworks holding hands, being all like romantic and stuff. I was like, bro, you guys are so stupid. And then a quick shout out to Sawako and Kazehaya from Kimi ni Todoke. Bro, these guys are so annoying. It's literally so obvious that they both like each other. So much so that like her friends know that he likes her, and they know that she likes him, and yet 2 seasons of 25 episodes, nothing until like the very end. And it's just like, and even during like the Valentine's Day episode, like they're just wondering like, whoa, I wonder who Sawako's gonna give chocolate to. I don't know, who knows. But yeah, it's man, dude, these romance animes, I could have put so many on this list. Those were just 2 of my favorite ones, because I remember on the Kimi Kiss one, I actually sent a thing to Paul saying like, congratulations, you played yourself, because she played herself, man. You take the dick when the dick is good, bro. You just take it, okay? You don't ask questions. You don't help out the enemy. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh my goodness.
Get that, dibs.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord. But anyway, did you guys have any other honorable mentions or anything you guys wanted to call out or anything?
No, I got mine out while we were talking. Johnny, you got any more? No. Okay.
I think just the last one for me would be Krillin, and I the reason why I didn't say this was just because we had mentioned in another video, but yep, Krillin, you don't have a nose. Quit smelling him. You can't smell that guy. Why are you? How do you? It's still to this day one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Still, one of the best moments in Dragon Ball Z. That's why, or Dragon Ball. So, you know, I just wanted to make sure I just gave it an honorable mention, but the hilarity value is just so high that it's like, okay, this is great. So, yeah, as always, guys, you guys can check us out on our, I was about to say our LinkedIn. That's not what we have. We have Linktree that you can check out all things casual, everything from Casual Bros podcast, the Generally Casual podcast, Anime Casuals, all of our media, YouTube, all the social media crap and all that other stuff. As well as Mental Health Casual, and you can check all that out at that link. Also, if you guys wanted to email us, email us, you guys can check us out at animecasuals with an S, real, REAL, @gmail.com if you guys want to give us any suggestions, or go to the discussions page on our YouTube channel. But as always, guys, do not forget to keep
it casual.